I'm now in Ireland. And I always leave a day at the end of my trips to do things I haven't done that I missed. So I didn't go up to see the University of Galloway, so I decided I'd just drive up to Galloway and look at the university. Well, I got there, wasn't a whole lot there to see, so I decided to come back. Only on the way back, after an hour and a half, I looked at the sun. And the sun was on my left shoulder. Which direction was I going in?
North.
And where was the airport I was supposed to go to?
South.
So obviously I got a little problem here, right? So I pull into this. I'm looking around now. I'm trying to understand this context. And I see horses in the field, which always was a good sign. I see BMWs driving down the road, which always was a good. I feel comfortable now. I'm in my environment. And I pull into this gas station, and I see this guy at the gas station who looks like my Uncle Dave, my cousin Dave. And my cousin Dave always gave me good advice. So I decided I'll walk over to cousin Dave and ask him for some advice. I walked over and I said, I'm lost. I always believe that's the best way to do it. I get lost a lot. And he said, well, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Shannon. He said, you're lost. So then I said, well, here's the map. Just point on this map where I am. Because once you understand where you are, you feel more comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable yet. And now he pointed on the map exactly where I was. And I was an hour and a half out of Galloway, and I was 3 hours away from Shannon. And he said, well, the best thing for you to do is just go back to Galloway, take the right road out of Galloway, and you'll get there. I said, listen, I don't want to do that. There's got to be another road. He said, well, do you like seafood? I said, yeah, I like seafood. He said, well, I'll tell you what. You stay on this road, and in about 45 minutes, you'll come to a great seafood restaurant. There's a little cottage there, inn, and you can stay at the inn, and tomorrow you can come around the other side along the coast and go back to Shannon. Well, before that, he said, how much time do you have? I said, hey, that sounds pretty good. Now, how many of you would have done that?
Maybe.
How many of you would have taken that trip around the other way? Go out and get a seafood dinner and stay at an inn that you never even thought about?
In Ireland.
I would. In Ireland, yeah.
Well, a lot of people would. But people who are not comfortable in that circumstance. Now, there was an ambiguous situation. Only because I've had these experiences many times. I've been lost a lot. And I've always had great experiences after being lost. I mean, some of my best trips are after getting lost. So I'm feeling good. Cousin Dave looks pretty good, trustworthy. The BMWs are my kind of stuff. I said, look, this makes a little bit of sense. Let me take it one step. Don't escalate all the way. Take a little step first. I said, well, I'll just follow the road for a while. So his last words were, go to Clifton, take a left, take a right, you'll be there. That's it. That's my minimum specification. So I get to Clifton, and I come in town, and there's a store there that has this sign that says Serendipity. And you know what serendipity means? Well, if you do, you know someone has just spoken to me. This is the right thing to do. Serendipity means chance. And that was a sign to me that I was on the right path. That this was one more of those serendipitous moments that I said, I'm on the right path. Now, coming out of town, though, there's a fork in the road. And one of the forks says Beach Road. And the other fork didn't say anything, but it was the main road. So I always believe that taking the road less traveled has always got me in trouble. So I went to the beach road. I said, it's all going in the same direction. I'm going to end up, I could see where it was all going to end up in the same place. So I took the beach road. It was what they call a fractional road in Ireland. They have fractional roads. A fractional road is a road that is a fraction of a real road. Which means that you can only get a car and a half on the road. You can't get two cars on this road. So you drive a little bit, you pull off to the side, and the next person comes by, and you go to the next one. It works. I don't know how it works, but I didn't see any accidents there. But now I'm getting a little worried. I said, no, you should have stayed on the main road. You had this thing knocked. Now you're out here in the wilderness. And then all of a sudden, this thing opens up. The Atlantic Ocean just opens up in front of me. And I said, holy smokes, I would have never seen that if I had stayed on the road. So once again, I'm getting reinforced that my decision was right. So I'm getting reinforced. And so then I work my way back to the real road where two cars could get by. And, every so often you stop and check. That's the way you do this. When you're working in complexity and ambiguity, you take small bites, you stop and you check. So I pull in the gas station, and this lady's behind the counter, and I said, I'm lost. And she says, well, where are you going? I said, that's how I got here in the first place. So I tell her my story. She said, well, I don't know about a restaurant, but I know that there's an inn right about 2 miles up the road, and they serve good food. I said, it's got to be the one.